Hello everybody, welcome to the Arkansas Weather Blog. We are your ticket to big weather events, recording this Monday, November 27th, shortly before 8 a.m. I've got a lot to talk about in this blog post, so this may go on for a while. Buckle up, grab a cup of hot coffee or your favorite beverage of your choice. First things first, as you see at the bottom of your screen right there, slow evolution to cold possible. That would mean a wild ride for the next 2 weeks. We are going to stay in a mild pattern for a while. There is just no getting around that. Today and tomorrow, lower 70s. Just to let you know, the record high temperature at Little Rock for today, 79, set back in 1989, November 28th. Tomorrow, the record high 79, 1989, and then 79 in 1970 for tomorrow. Then we're going to fast forward to next week at this time, because there are two more records that are record highs. We're talking about daily record highs. Monday, December 4th, 70 degrees set in 2013. December 5th, that's a Tuesday, 72 degrees back in 1956. May not be broken, but they could be challenged. Let me explain. We're going to use the European. By the way, I know a lot of you, by this time of the season, we have launched the winter weather contest. There will be 99.9999% chance. See, I work in the world of weather, and there are no guarantees. Not until after it happens. That's the fascinating part about weather. There's no guarantee until after it happens. I'm 99.999% sure this is going to happen, but there will be a winter weather contest. It's not going to be anything like it has been in the past, and I think that this is going to be fun. Let's just put it that way. Just stay tuned. You will know when we start it up. All right, let's get to the European. This is from, let me back it up a little bit. This is from from WSI, Weather Systems International. And in case you're new to the blog, let me just explain to you what you're looking at here. I do that a lot. I jump around with my cursor, move things around. Just look at the black lines. Those are isobars, lines of equal barometric pressure. And you see a closed one right here. That's an area of low pressure at the surface. And you see these blobs of gray and green. That's showing you precipitation over the previous 6 hours. Really, if you want to look at cold air, pay attention to this blue line, this solid blue line. That's what we call the 540 thickness line. And that's close to the location of where you're going to see the transition between rain and snow. And, of course, it ain't coming anywhere near here for a while. But anyway, so you see this right here? See that? That's the weak system coming through Wednesday with some rain. And see how it's favoring western and the northern Arkansas. Again, nothing heavy. I wish we could get it. But anyway, so you see this is a 1024 high following it. The 540 line still up toward the north. So it cools down a little bit, but nothing major. Let's get to the fun and games next week at this time. And again, my caveat of all this can and will change. But there seems to be some signs, and I hesitate with this because there were signs in November that, you know, there was some cold air lurking, especially around Thanksgiving, and then I was very hesitant about that, and I'm very glad that I only called for a cool to cold Thanksgiving. That's because I was sure about that, but then after that I was like, So, you know, when you are trained and you looked at all these things for so long, you know what to look for. But anyway, I have a little bit more confidence that something is lurking down the road, and it's not good for the very beginning of next week. This is what I'm talking about. This is Sunday. Let's just go to Monday, and I'll show you the setup here. This is late Monday. Do you see how this 540 line takes a dip across the west? Well, there's a trough developing across the west, a pool of cold air, which is eventually going to overspread the country. But it's the transition. It's going to be December. And whenever you get a transition, there's trouble. And there's some concern for some thunderstorm activity. There's high pressure moving away off towards the Carolinas. And I don't know if you can see these gray areas, these vectors. You're going to start to pick up a flow off the Gulf of Mexico. This is Monday. Remember I said the record high is 77 in 2013? We're going to be firmly entrenched in the warm sector on Monday, December 4th. Low pressure forming out here into the plains of Colorado. Let's go to Tuesday. And there it is. You see that in the Panhandle of Texas and Oklahoma. Warm front is right in here. Cold front right in there. Actually, that's the dry line. Cold front's back in here. Anyway, so you're getting a flow off the Gulf of Mexico. You have high pressure here, low pressure here, and that's funneling in a southerly wind flow. Very cold air developing and moving into Canada and into the western United States. And this is what's going to progress eastward. And it's this change. Now, as we head through, this is, let's just go Wednesday morning. This is according to the European. As I said, the details on this are going to change. I promise you. When you look at Wednesday, this is a 228-hour European. When you look at Wednesday, December 6th at 6 a.m., the weather map will not look like this. But you get the general idea. See, I told you I'd do it again. You get the general idea. There's a storm system in the central United States, and there's a transition going on. There's a battle. You know, the atmosphere can get a little chippy. The atmosphere gets chippy sometimes. How many times do we hear that in college football now? Whenever there's a scuffle on the field, can they not find another word besides chippy? Oh, it's a little chippy down there. Oh, a little some chippiness. Oh, that game showed some chippiness. That's their favorite word. It's like in the world of politics. Well, at the end of the day, and then one of my favorite when you turn on one of the financial channels, unexpected economic news. Have you ever noticed it's always unexpected? Anyway, enough about that. Chippiness is the new buzzword. So the atmosphere is going to get chippy. You see there's the area of low pressure. So you're going to have some sort of collision in air masses. And whenever that happens, you got to look out for some strong to severe thunderstorms. Not saying that's going to happen, but you got to look out for that possibility in this type of situation. So the European only goes out, the operational European, out to 240 hours, which is 10 days. So this takes us to the 6th on Wednesday. And boy, see that 540 line taking a dive towards the south. I'm going to show you some more stuff here that kind of shows this. The jet stream is getting amplitude here. And right now it's kind of zonal across the country, which is just floods us with Pacific air. Well, now it's going to get amplitude, and when it goes up and down, you get those troughs and ridges. Let's see when you tap into some colder air in Canada and it goes south into the trough. So right now, you look at the middle of next week, and it's warm along the eastern United States, and a transition occurring in the central United States, and bitterly cold across the western United States. Again, read the bottom of the screen. Slow transition. See, I told you I'd do it again. Slow transition to cooler air. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Gosh, how long have I bloviated? Let's go here. I got to find all my programs here. So you're looking here at the GFS ensemble. And this is 500 millibars anomalies. But what I want to illustrate with you with this is what's going on at 108 hours. So this is Friday, December 1st. So you see this is just getting flooded with Pacific air, zonal flow. You see troughing here, and that's what's eventually going to start to swing towards the United States, troughing here. What you want to see is amplitude. You want to see big ridges going up into Canada, Western Canada and Alaska, and sending in a downstream trough. So what does this produce in terms of temperature anomalies, departures from the average in degrees Celsius? Well, in the 5 to 10 day time period in degrees Celsius, I mean, we're flooded with mild air. This is what I'm talking about with near record high temperatures. This is in 5 to 10 days, December 2nd through December 7th. Temperature anomalies in degrees Celsius. So you're looking at temperatures well above average. Now, let's take a look at the 360 hour, way down the road, long range. But this is what you want to see to get the colder air delivered into the United States. See, there's the ridge going up along the west coast and into Alaska. And I'm going to preface this again. I have seen this before, and it does not materialize. There are no guarantees in weather until after it happens. Ridging right in here and a big trough. So you get the amplitude. You get big ridge up here that sends the cold air south into the central and eastern United States. There's a slow progression, and this is what it produces in terms of those temperature anomalies from December 7th through December 12th, 10 to 15 days. This is the 5-day average 2-meter temperature anomalies in degrees Celsius. You get below average temperatures. Now, in that transition, you notice that there is some rain, and we'll be past this, but meteorological fall is the months of September, October, November. You see we're number 2 on that list right now. The rainfall coming in on Wednesday, the very end of November. Will we get enough to make it past 3, where it's 2.9 inches at 1904? Again, meteorological fall ends November 30th. So I kind of doubt that. So this is probably going to end up as the 2nd driest fall on record for Little Rock and the 5th driest November on record. And we need rainfall, and it appears that, you know, we do get some with that transition going into the middle of next week. So again, read the bottom of the screen there. Slow evolution to cold possible. And that could, if that wild ride does exist, you're talking about warm temperatures this week, and then the transition week is next week. And that colder air, if it gets here, is going to be towards the end of next week here in the central United States. So, you know, you're talking about long range and things change, but, you know, when you get that transition, you get that chippiness. And at the end of the day, cold weather is going to rule the day. Don't want some unexpected weather news, that's for sure. I mean, there's so many cliches on TV now. But just watch here. We got Championship Saturday coming up in college football with all the different conferences. Just count the number of times if you're going to watch the SEC Championship, Big 12 Championship, or ACC, or Big 10, any of those. You got Pac-10 too. Just listen to the word for chippiness. It's just interesting how all of a sudden that's the buzzword. All right. Thank you very much for coming to the Arkansas Weather Blog. We are your ticket to big weather events.